Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our live webinar launch of the Schonox Renotex 3D system. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A box on the right-hand side. We'll be answering these questions at the end of the presentation. My name is David Hockley. I'm the sales team leader here at Sika Flooring, and I'm joined today by my colleagues Gavin White and Mark Prizeman, who will be taking you through the presentation. Our agenda today is a short introduction to Sika to explain more about floating substrate solutions in the Schonox Renotex 3D system, its systems, components and features, the defined scope of application, some further technical guidance, and just a quick look at the Schonox range, and also a recent case study where the new innovative system was used on a live project. So just a bit about Sika globally. Sika is a specialty chemicals company with a leading position in the development and production of systems and products for the building sector and motor vehicle industry. Sika has subsidiaries in over 100 countries around the world and employs 25,000 people. Here at Sika in the UK, Sika in the UK and Ireland was established in 1927, and we have 4 main manufacturing sites in Welwyn Garden City, Preston, Leeds and Dublin. Collectively, Sika employs 990 employees, and we have a greater turnover than 300 million. The way we structure our business here at Sika is according to our target markets, which there are 7 of them. One being concrete, waterproofing, refurbishment and building finishing, roofing, sealing and bonding, our industry sector, and also our main subject today, flooring and coatings. This means we provide solutions for all types of construction, including residential and commercial, industrial and infrastructure. And this can be either new construction or renovation projects. With all this combined, Sika offers a unique value proposition to designers and developers to offer solutions from basement to roof. For flooring, which is our main subject today, we offer project assessment services. This is where we can give detailed assessment of projects and performance criteria together with specification clauses. We also work with licensed contractors and the recommendation of these contractors, which are vetted by Sika. We also offer comprehensive material data, installation guides and healthy safety information on all of our products. And with our contractors, which is the most important part linked to installation, we offer them continuous product training and monitor their capability for our Sika Park Deck and Strata contractor scheme. Sika is the largest manufacturer of high-performance coatings in the world. Sika's flooring systems have been developed for a wide range of markets, including manufacturing, healthcare, education and retail. With this insight, Sika understands that there are challenges of overlaying different types of substrates, and that what is underneath the floor finishes is equally important to provide a flat finish and maintain the integrity of the floor for its life cycle. I will now hand you over to my colleague Gavin White to explain more about our latest innovation.
Good morning, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Gavin White and I'm Head of Marketing and Product Management for UK Roofing and Flooring here at Sika. I have to say that I'm truly quite excited about the launch of our new Schonox Renotex 3D system, which I truly believe is a game changer for the flooring industry, bringing to bear one of the thinnest, if not the thinnest, floating screed systems in the world, and providing an innovative solution which deals with a range of common challenges. So innovation is undoubtedly at the heart of everything we do here at Sika across the globe. And I'm proud to say that we are a genuine leader in this field with a hunger to solve industry challenges and making life easier for specifiers and installers alike. With regional and local R&D centres across the globe, Sika actually registered 93 patents last year across a range of technologies and industries. And indeed, we are actually targeted and measured against 25% of all of our sales coming from ongoing innovation. So by way of background, you'll be aware that when it comes to screed systems, the flooring industry has traditionally been beholden to either cementitious or gypsum-based technologies. Now, both of these technologies have their respective benefits, which make them more suitable in certain applications than others. Now, cement-based systems are associated, as we know, with strength and speed, so fast to cure. And gypsum-based systems are generally associated with low stress, minimal shrinkage, and excellent leveling properties. So utilizing the global innovation capabilities of Sika, we've been able to create something quite special, a hybrid technology within our Schonox range that is unique to Sika, offering the best of both worlds when it comes to bringing together cementitious and gypsum characteristics. In addition, we've also incorporated what we term as active dry technology that utilizes a reaction in the material to moisture lock the free water within itself after the normal hydration process has taken place, thus allowing quicker overlay times. And it's with this technology that forms a fundamental part of the Schonox Renotex 3D system that I will be discussing with you. So every industry has its frustrations and challenges. And for the flooring industry, some of these are how we deal with contaminated and damaged substrates, achieving impact sound reduction whilst keeping the overall system thickness to a minimum, complying with fire regulations and compatibility with non-combustible insulation, and popularity and subsequent compatibility with an increasing range of underfloor heating systems available on the market today. But arguably, though, the biggest frustration amongst all of these is how we deal with contaminated and damaged substrates that, in most instances, require costly and time-consuming deconstruction of the existing subfloor in order for reinstatement to take place. Fortunately, this is where Sika is able to respond through innovation, and where I'm delighted to introduce to you our brand new Schonox Renotex 3D system, one of the thinnest floating screed systems in the world, which can be laid over contaminated and damaged substrates without the need for any deconstruction, will meet sound reduction requirements whilst minimizing overall system thickness and weight, is classified as non-combustible, and is compatible with underfloor heating systems, and importantly, enabling greater heat transfer due to the incredibly thin system thickness. Hopefully this has got your attention, because I have to say we're all pretty excited about it here at Sika. I'm now going to take you through in some further detail the key components that make up the system, which will allow for you to see how we've achieved such an exciting solution. Now, my colleague Mark Prizeman will shortly go into some further detail on application, but essentially the system is made up of three key components. Firstly, the RS50 foam isolating tape, which ensures that the screed system is isolated from the adjacent vertical structures. The patented 3D reinforcement mesh, which, as you suspect, is a reinforcement allowing us to maximize strength at a mere minimum thickness of 14 millimeters. The mesh also acts as a guide for consistent and accurate application of screed whilst isolating it from the existing deck. Third in the trio of components is the all-important HS50 hybrid self-leveling compound with active dry technology. Now, in many respects, I'd like to think greater than the sum of its parts, the complete system achieves the following key benefits. It has a high load and live load capacity, an incredibly thin screed system. Again, I don't get tired of saying this, arguably the thinnest floating screed system in the world, extremely easy to apply, rapid drying and versatile in a range of flooring applications. And having such a thin screed system means that the applied weight is approximately only around 22 kilograms per meter squared. So to put some context to the benefits of our system then, compared to traditional floating sand and cement screeds, you can see here that the Schonox Renotex 3D system displays a significant reduction in weight, install time, and overall thickness. So for Sika, this system is quite simply a game changer. And as experienced industry professionals, I'm sure you can appreciate and see that it's easy to see how we can take such an innovative system and how it translates into a range of benefits, especially those associated with program time and cost. So moving on to a little bit more detail then around the system components. As you'll be aware, in order to correctly install a floating screed, it must be isolated from any vertical structure or detail. This is where the RS50 tape excels. So bonded to the floor with its integral self-adhesive strip, the tape is quick and easy to install, and importantly, highly effective at performing the key isolation function, whilst helping to prevent sound transmission, essentially allowing the newly installed floor to float. The tape also has a horizontal flange, which is designed to easily interface with the 3D mesh component. And whilst isolating tapes are reasonably common, but an essential feature within floating screed systems, our 3D reinforcement mesh is completely unique to us and patented. As the name suggests, it's a 3-dimensional reinforcement with felt backing, which is designed to restrain the mesh when the screed is poured into it, ensuring a full and even encapsulation. In terms of installer benefits, something that Mark will take you through in a moment, it's lightweight, easy to handle, and importantly, quick and easy to install, ready for the HS50 compound. Unlike some leveling screeds, HS50 is a complete screed solution in a bag with no additional components required, so all you do is simply add water. As mentioned previously, the hybrid cement gypsum technology delivers excellent self-leveling properties mixed either by hand or by pump. When cured, the screed delivers the all-important balance of minimal shrinkage and high strength. And due to the active dry technology I mentioned earlier, the system is walkable in 2 hours and ready for any further covering between 24 hours and 48 hours, depending on what that final floor covering may be. As a quick guideline in terms of consumption rates, one mixed bag laid at 14 millimeters thickness will cover approximately 1 meter squared. So hopefully that's given you some important detail on the makeup of the system, but most importantly, it's essential for you to hear from my colleague Mark Prizeman, who has many years in the field of flooring application as both an installer and a trainer of operatives into this industry.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Mark Prizeman. I'm the applications manager for Sika Flooring. I've been with Sika now 19 years, 15 years previous to that in construction. So, yep, been in construction all my life, and I feel pretty well placed to comment on the problems faced in the construction industry with floors and how we get around these issues. My role at Sika, working with a team, we deliver a support network for the sales organisation. We're responsible for delivering training in our 2 dedicated centres, one in Preston and one in Welwyn Garden City, to both our customers and our own staff, alongside giving support on technical specification building. So the problems faced on a daily basis on site are, as you have heard, substrate issues quite often and how to get around them. This Sika Schonox Renotex 3D system is most definitely a solution provider. So you can see here in the image, the RS50 tape has been applied into the corner here, and you can see the substrate underneath cracked, damaged, polythene sheet as a debonder, and the system applied. It's always a bit horrific sometimes, the thought of deconstruction and breaking a floor out. So when you look at the options, it really does make sense. Even if some loose tiles, cracks, contamination, old adhesives, old failed coatings, membranes that are down, this can get you across these. Impact sound reduction, and just with the simple addition of the mineral wool beneath the system, we can make great gains on impact sound reduction. Okay, as you can see, the mineral board is just loose laid and the material in the system laid right across the top. This table here, on the left here, we've got the sound reduction material, the mineral wool in different thicknesses, also aligned with different thicknesses of the Renotex 3D system itself, showing then the top coverings going from ceramics down to our Sika Comfort Floor Marble FX, which is one of our comfort floor systems, and expected decibel reductions you can get. Fire insulation, as you can see, is a combined system. It complies to the EN 13501, which is for all construction products, incorporating products which are included within building elements. So the combined system, and its overall rating is classified as non-combustible. The mineral wool itself is of a rigid type. It needs to be a minimum of 12 millimeters, maximum of 20 millimeters, and it must have this rigid dynamic stiffness to it so it doesn't crush or compress whilst you're walking on it, when you're applying the system, and when you're overlaying with the mesh and the system itself. And it is just loose laid onto the floor. Another benefit from the system, as Gavin mentioned earlier, it's suitable for all types of underfloor heating. That be either water-fed or electric thin layer matting. Again, a polythene sheet isolates it from the system below, mesh goes down and the system over the top. And again, due to its very thin system thickness, it promotes very good heat transfer to the surface, which can then take a range of coverings. So I'm going to talk you through the application process. It's very simple, just a couple of slides here, and you'll see just how simple it is. Okay, so step one, all the way around the edges with the high-tack RS50 isolating tape. Second then, as I mentioned before, is just to lay a plastic sheeting down, 1000 gauge, so it's a decent DPM membrane gauge plastic. This stops any bonding. The actual Renotex 3D mesh itself then will get cut to size and laid out. Very important that it's the fabric side down, because this is what retains the mesh. It's not like a standard mesh, it's 2 layers with a bridge in between, and the bottom fleece pins it down so there's no floating of the mesh rising up as you might have in traditional meshes. A perimeter is cut round of 10 millimeters, just giving it some relief on the mat so it doesn't bunch up. Very important here, along the roll is the lapping of the joint. There's a pre-marked out lap of the joint, so the guys on site will know exactly how to lap the joints to get the correct overlap. Oh, sorry, gone too far. You can see on the left-hand image there, the rolls out and the darker strips show where the double overlay is on the strip. The Schonox HS50 can be pumped, as you can see in this image, or indeed mixed by hand with the correct application mixing equipment. Very important that it must be applied and laid in the direction of the overlap, so as not to lift the joint itself as the material comes across. Lay it to the required depth and use a spike roller to release any entrained air that may have occurred during mixing. Once laid and left to dry, 48 hours, it's ready for most floor coverings. Technical documents, okay, all the technical documents that you will need are all available on the website for you to download. Okay, thank you for your attention. I'll now hand you back over to my colleague, David Hockley.
Thank you, Mark. This system is an exciting addition to us here in the UK market, and we currently have numerous specifications in progress. To provide you with an example of a completed project, I would like to show you a successful case study on a large scale area at the Nike offices in Berlin. This was the renovation of the new Nike headquarters in Berlin, and it is a classic example of where this 3D system is the perfect solution. When the client took over this 1950s building, they found out that the 3,500 square meters of concrete floor was too weak in its compressive and adhesion strength to take any type of coating which was the desired finish. The traditional method, of course, would be to deconstruct the weak concrete and replace it with a new concrete slab. This would have significantly added to their tight renovation program and the overall cost of the projects. By selecting the Renotex 3D system, the new substrate was created and provide the minimum requirement needed to receive a resin floor covering. For those who don't know, the minimum requirements for that are 25 newtons millimeter squared for compressive strength and 1.5 newtons millimeter squared in pull-off strength. Overall, like we said, this renovation was completed over 3,500 square meters and which also helped the project program to be walkable in after 2 hours, and was using what's known as a Sika pump fix solution for speed. The feedback from the client, you can see the finished Renotex there. The feedback from the client was that without the Renotex 3D system, the renovation certainly would have been completed on time or within budget. To what was a weak substrate, that was an unexpected oversight in the original scope of works for the project. Just further on Schonox, outside the innovation that you've seen today, the Schonox range from Sika extends further into a full range of primers, DPMs, other levels and adhesives for both resilient and resin flooring. We will send you out some links to our range of the products following this webinar this morning. So just to summarize our presentation today, I want to thank you for your time. But before we move on to questions, just going to cover what we've covered today. The new Renotex 3D system is our ideal solution for a range of challenges and overcome the worst floor substrates. The system is made up of 3 components: the RS50 foam isolating tape, the patented 3D reinforcement mesh, and the HS50 hybrid leveling screed compound. The application process is quick and easy and is walkable within 2 hours. Once the system is secured, it is ready for a range of floor coverings in under 48 hours after the application. So that concludes our presentation. I will now hand you over to my colleague Charlotte, who will take any questions.
Morning everyone. I can actually see that we've had some questions put into the Q&A this morning. First question being, would the system stop moisture rising if you applied it to the damp floor? Mark, shall I hand that one over to you?
Yeah, sure, I'll take that, Charlotte. Would it stop moisture rising? Well, moisture, you have to be careful. There's residual moisture and rising moisture. The system will be fine and going over residual moisture with the polythene sheeting. I advise that rising moisture or osmotic floors or hydrostatic pressure should be treated prior with a different system first before doing it, to stop any build up underneath that could cause issues with the screed.
Perfect, thanks Mark. Further question, on a damaged floor, what would you need to do on the deeper areas of damage before you lay the mat across?
So, okay, so if you've got a very damaged subfloor and you've got big craters, big dips in it, yes, of course, they will need to be filled with a suitable repair material prior to laying the plastic and the mesh out. You couldn't have voids where the mesh is starting to have to span them. That would not be good. So yes, you have to make your floor reasonably good first if there's big holes in it.
Thank you. Another question come in. Does the material come in larger units? Question for you, maybe David?
Yeah, sure. As standard, as you saw, it's a bagged material. It's typically supplied in 25 kilo bags, but we do have the option to supply it in 1,500 kilo bulk bags for those who use the drop-in hopper pump machines by people like Innertech. We can supply it in a large 1,500 kilo unit.
Thanks, David. Another question, what is the maximum thickness you can lay the leveling compound? Shall I hand that one to you, Gav?
Yeah, I'll say that one. So obviously the minimum thickness is 14 millimeters, but the maximum laid thickness is 24. You've obviously got 10 millimeters to play with there, but you know, if you do need to get the height of the system up, you know, you do have the option of increasing the insulation thickness below if necessary.
Great, thank you. And then we've just got one further question at the moment. Is there any requirement for movement expansion joints for the system itself?
I'll take that. No, there isn't. Obviously, if there's any joints beneath that are act as dynamic joints, their system would have to be stopped there and they would be brought through. But in a room, no, there's not, because of the system itself has a degree of flexibility, as you can see with going over the timber floors, but also around the edges, the perimeters, and the fact that it's low stress and no expansion or shrinkage. No, it's not needed.
Great, thank you, Mark. That's all we've got in the Q&A at the moment. Maybe we can leave it open for the next few minutes. Should we get any more questions? Okay, got a further question in. What if I need a thin screed, but the slab is already I think maybe deflected or defected?
If it's defected, this is what the system's designed for. If it's wrong, if it's deflected, I'm not quite sure what that may mean. If it's not directly level and there's some deflection in the slab, then as long as it wouldn't exceed the maximum or the minimum thickness, perhaps you could get over that, but I'm not 100% sure on the question.
Okay, no problem. Well, what we do as well is we'll have all the questions following this that have been submitted. So we'll get a area technical manager to get back in touch with you, Katerina, just to make sure that we've covered off your question there.
Okay, it looks like we've had all the questions. Thank you again for joining us today. We hope you found it informative and you're excited about this latest innovation from Sika. And we will send you out some follow-up information following this seminar. And we wish you a good day. Thank you very much.